KSLA presents Your Hometown Show, featuring outstanding businesses and services in your community. Good morning and welcome to Your Hometown Show. I'm Sarah Carson. Joining us today is Chief of Surgery at Highland Hospital, Dr. Jim Barnes. Dr. Barnes has been performing bariatric surgery since 1996 and is here to talk to us about how we can rediscover life and rediscover you. Hey, how are you today, Dr. Barnes?
Great.
Tell us a little bit about your practice and the different varieties of bariatric surgery that you perform.
Sure. I do advanced laparoscopic surgery, but I focus my practice primarily on bariatric surgery or weight loss surgery.
Okay.
And over the years that's been different operations, but currently we now focus on the laparoscopic gastric bypass and the laparoscopic sleeve gastrectomy.
Okay, and those are fairly minimally invasive procedures, right?
We do everything laparoscopically, which means we're making 5 or 6 little incisions in the abdomen. We do it with the camera and the scopes through these little holes. And it just makes for a much faster recovery compared to open surgery. You know, most people are, it's typically a 2-night stay in the hospital, and then most people are usually back to work within 2 weeks.
Oh, that's great. So who is a candidate for one of these procedures?
It's based primarily on your weight, of course, and we look at either a person's absolute weight, and we talk about how much over their ideal body weight they are. So typically about 100 pounds or more over your ideal body weight. Okay. Or we also look at a number called a BMI, or a body mass index, which kind of helps us put the height and weight together in one formula. So, but a quick, easy is about 90 to 100 pounds or more over your ideal body weight. Okay.
Now you mentioned that there are 2 different procedures that you specialize in. Would you like to explain a little bit about those?
Yeah, sure. So this is a picture showing, this is the gastric bypass, and this is still the most common operation that I do. I feel like it has probably the better results of the 2 that we do. This one's been around for a long time. It's been around for about 50 years, so we have a lot of good long-term data with this operation. And with this surgery, and again, these are all done through the laparoscope with the little incisions, but we make a small stomach pouch here, which limits how much food a person can take in at one time. And then we divide the intestine down here and we hook this up, and so now when they eat, the food goes into this small stomach and then down here, so it's going to bypass the first part of the intestine and all the rest of the stomach, and so they don't absorb the calories out of the food quite as well.
Okay.
And so typically with this operation, we will see people lose about 75% of their excess weight. It usually takes about 9 to 12 months. And the amazing thing too is with this is that most of the health problems that they have related to their weight, the diabetes, high blood pressure, sleep apnea, reflux, all those things are usually cured with the surgery.
That's amazing. So it's more than just weight loss, certainly.
It is, yeah.
And then the other procedure
And then this is the sleeve gastrectomy. This is the other operation that we do. And this is a newer operation, so we don't have all the long-term data with this yet. With this operation, we come up with a stapler right here, and we actually remove about 75% of the stomach. So we're going to leave this little narrow tube of stomach. It's about the size of a small banana. And that's just going to restrict how much food a person can eat. It's a little bit of a simpler operation than the bypass. The weight loss is good, but tends to be not quite as much as what we see with the gastric bypass, a little bit slower weight loss too, but this is also another good option for folks.
You mentioned the recovery time. What you said, about 2 weeks?
Yeah, you know, complete recovery from any surgery is a month or so, but most people are, you know, unless they have a real physically demanding job, are going back to work within a week and a half, 2 weeks is what we typically see.
Are there any lifestyle changes that the patients will have to follow after they have this type of surgery?
Yeah, there is. You know, obviously diet is probably the biggest one, and we do restrict their diet initially. We start off on a liquid diet, and then as people get further out, we advance their diet into more solid foods. Eventually they get back to where they can eat pretty much anything, just much smaller portions. Typically like a dessert plate amount of food versus a dinner plate amount of food.
And that fills them up and satiates their hunger.
And the other thing these do, they also significantly decrease hunger level. Those numbers come way down with both operations where people just aren't as hungry, and so that makes it a lot easier to lose weight. And then we see with the gastric bypass too, most people, it takes away their craving for sweets, which is a good thing when you're trying to lose weight, and most people don't tolerate sweets real well with that operation either. And so that's, you know, I think that's probably why we see a little better weight loss with the bypasses, because it does affect that more.
Okay, that's great to know. Now listen, if we have some viewers that are interested in coming in and talking with you about this procedure, what will they need to do? Contact you, and then what's the process of getting evaluated?
Just call my office. It's a very simple procedure. We do a free seminar every Tuesday morning.
Okay.
At 8:30 in my office. We usually, have 4, 5, 6, 7 people, something like that. So we keep it fairly small, and that's the first step. And then you'll meet with me individually afterwards, and we'll go through your medical history and do a physical exam and just kind of see if you're a good candidate or not. Most of the time, insurance covers the surgery, which is great.
Yeah.
The majority of insurance companies do pay for weight loss surgery now, so most of my patients do this through their insurance. If it's not covered, we do have some other financing options and things like that some people take advantage of. But the vast majority of the people we do, it's paid for by their insurance.
That's great to know. Yeah. Certainly help people out with that.
Well, I think they realize that it saves them money in the long term because their medical problems are so much better that their overall medical expenses go way down.
Right. It really goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here with us today and explaining these procedures. That's going to do it for your Hometown Show. I'm Sarah Carson. Have a great day. You're watching your Hometown Show on KSLA News 12.